religion, Judaism, is a religion given to us, a covenant we made with God, not to steal, not to kill, not to take into hostage children or whatever. I've heard that was the issue over there. If something ungodly is done, something that's a sin, one of the 10 commandments, thou shalt not steal. You're not allowed to take a child, this is part of not stealing a person, and all it's a cardinal crime. It's against Judaism. It has no justification in Judaism. So if it was done, and it was done in an Orthodox synagogue, doesn't give it any justification. It has nothing with our religion. And we condemn it, we decry it, and has nothing to do with us. Whoever, it's unbelievable that such a thing could happen. If it was done there, I don't know if it was affiliated with the synagogue, or the leaders of that synagogue or not. But I could just say altogether, that movement of that is really, in a certain manner, it gets into whole Jewish technical things where that community has questionable with the religious communities around the world, because they became like a cult, some of them. That their rabbi passed away many years ago, and they speak as if he's alive. It became a cult. That group is very questionable, a lot of that group over there. So they're not even part of our communities at all. We don't even go to those synagogues. Like I say, for supervision and kosher issues that we have to have each kosher, a lot of the big major kosher organizations don't use the people that come from that group altogether, even as supervisors in kosher, because like I say, we have a problem with them as a cult, that group altogether. But like I say, even that said, there are people that they keep the Sabbath and this and that, and it's hard to believe that the rabbinical authorities over there, even though, like I say, we have problems with them, we really find them a trouble for us. It's unjust. It must be stopped. I don't know how. I don't know what first we know how. We pray to God. Ultimately, the power is in God's hand, and we pray with this compassion that He should bring immediate end of the occupation entirely. Of course, what's happening in Gaza entirely. We cry with the people of Gaza. I said a person's heart is made of stone. It would melt just watching this. The ones that are watching this. So what their decision is irrelevant to the fact that it must be stopped. But hopefully, like you say, possibly they will come out with the right decision, hopefully, inshallah, and then we will see possibly that it's force the hand of the world powers that have the control to stop Israel from looking at Israel to stop anything. Because we're looking at this as a den of criminals. The existence is ignoring they're Jews, and they were born from Jews at least, and they're ignoring the laws of Judaism. They're ignoring what people call humanity, human rights. We call it godliness. They're ignoring everything. So I'm not looking to them for justice. We demonstrate for over 75 years in thousands of people throughout the world, from Palestine and occupied Palestine, Jerusalem, and Al-Quds in the United States. It's like we show pictures of thousands of people demonstrating. This is all the time, and over there, the Jewish people, old men, children, get brutally beaten, get arrested, get murdered. Our rabbis, they get here. You can see this is the army. They get trampled with horses. With cars, they run into them. I hear it daily from my constituents who are living in the Holy Land. And the world is silent, and they're doing it. Well, how could they do this? We're never armed. They have absolutely no excuse that they're afraid of it. We don't have guns. We don't have knives. Why are they doing this, brutally beating the Jews who are standing demonstrating? The Palestinians, they have this story that they're evil, they want to kill them, they're terrorists, which is an insult and false. But about the Jewish people, they cannot have such a narrative because none of us have guns. We do not use knives. We don't have any such thing. We're simply standing on the streets, distinguished rabbis, children, pleading with the world that they're occupying, they're doing something against God. Yet they brutally, with impunity, they beat them day in and day out for 75 years. They spray them here, this is stink gas, simply because they want to discourage demonstrations. And in fact, the British demanded that the Jews have to register under the Zionists, a community that was living for hundreds of years, that totally were opposed to the Zionists as heretics, and yet the British mandate demanded that they should be registered under the Zionists. This Dr. Dahan was able to extricate the Jews from that problem and from many others, and he said, I'm going to go to Parliament in Britain to fight the case of the Jews in Palestine against the Zionists. And the Zionists said to him, if you should cease and desist or not, we're going to kill you. And the Haganah shot him cold-bloodedly, openly in front of Shaare Zedek Hospital. So I'm just saying the history, right from there, and there's a monument from him, and the King of Denmark, they made a monument from him in Denmark, by the way. Dr. Yisrael Yaakov Dahan, his blood should be avenged. Well, let's put this in the right perspective. I'm coming from the religious perspective, and we're here to undermine the legitimacy of the state of Israel. It's a mere existence because they call it a Jewish state, and as we say, Judaism condemns and rejects Zionism, the state of Israel, and its atrocities. Basically, we say Judaism it's very clear what it is. It's a 3,000-year-old religion of being subservient to God, upholding the covenant that we made with God, to be compassionate, to keep the laws, and part of those laws is not to kill, not to steal. And one of the issues is very clear that since 2,000 years ago, the destruction of the temples, King Solomon had a temple. King Solomon himself wrote prophecies. We said, after the time will come when we are dispersed and banished from the land as a nation, we are expressly forbidden to return in mass, in large numbers, or to try to reestablish any Jewish sovereignty, regardless if it's an inhabited land or not. We are forbidden, and certainly we are forbidden to kill or steal in order to establish that land, and certainly we're not allowed to do it to a people, the Muslim people, who for hundreds of years, as the Ottoman Empire and all through the Arab and Muslim world, we were taken in, embraced by the Muslim society, by the Muslim communities, to live in peace. So this is a fact that we were always living together with a distinctly different religion, mind you, but we all believe in one God, and we flourished in Arab and Muslim lands. So we are coming clearly from this from these facts to establish and to let the world know that the state of Israel is in their search, their attempt to solidify their control, their occupation. This was created, the concept of Zionism 100-odd years ago, 130, 150 years ago, by non-religious Jews who really despised this whole concept of subservience to God. They wanted a base nationalism. They called themselves proudly a democracy. You're free of serving God. And they're using, just because they don't have godly morals, so they use the Star of David, the name Israel, all the trappings of the Jewish. They established a rabbinate, which is a farce. We have a Jewish rabbinate, we have rabbis, but they established this concept, and they tell the world that they have the right of existence because God, the deed to the land, which they're turning to a legal concept, that they have a right to the land because God gave them the land, and the Palestinians who are living there for these hundreds of years are interlopers, that their people are trying to take away the land from them. And they totally ignore the fact that in these last hundreds and hundreds of years, 2,000 years, the rabbinical authorities clearly, unambiguously stated that we are not permitted to have our own control, our sovereignty, and certainly not in Palestine. And we respected the inhabitants, the rule. We were loyal citizens to the Ottoman Empire, whoever it may have been. In fact, the British demanded that the Jews have to register under the Zionists, a community that was living for hundreds of years, that